Guys, here with a new video for the channel. I hope you like it, and if you like it, don't forget to leave your powerful like Supreme God level, comment, and subscribe. Now without further ado, get comfortable. Let's begin. At the end of the Tournament of Power, about a year had already passed, in which very powerful warriors had already appeared, such as Broly, Black Frieza, Gas Moro, among others. Meanwhile, in the Kingdom of Everything, Daishinkan said to himself, "If beings of great power continue to appear, there must also be a savior. We need to open a new divine hierarchy." Daishinkan would leave quickly to Universe 7, specifically to the planet of Beerus, the god of destruction. When he arrived, Daishinkan would be surprised because the power of the destroyer god Beerus had increased in an overwhelming way. "The power of Beerus is abominable. He has increased his power so much that I even dare to say that he surpasses an angel." Daishinkan would descend to Beerus' planet, which had undergone a transformation which Beerus had named it as the state beyond a god. Beerus, at the moment of observing Daishinkan, would return to his base state. "Great Daishinkan-sama, tell me, what can we do for you?" "I have come to the same reason that your training is due, Beerus. Too many beings of great power have appeared. We need equally powerful beings to protect the universe." "I understand, Great Priest. I will even try harder. What I really want is to train Son Goku, since I find it interesting how a mortal was able to reach a state that even the gods find difficult." Beerus and Whis would be surprised by Daishinkan's words. "Father, Lord Goku is on planet Earth, but what do you wish to do with him?" "I personally, the High Priest, will take care of training him, increase his powers in the right way." "But Daishinkan-sama, wouldn't it be better to train a destroyer god? We're already born with our destructive power." "Of course not. You're born with that destructive power, are not able to master such a state. How was a mortal able to do it? Son Goku intrigues me." "Okay, Daishinkan-sama. At this time we'll go with Son Goku and we'll quickly head to the realm of the Whole." "Thanks for the compression, Beerus." Daishinkan would open a portal, leaving that place. At that moment, Whis and Beerus would start to talk about what had happened. "Whis, what is the High Priest doing on the thing?" "I don't know, Mr. Beerus, but we can't disobey his orders." "That airhead. I don't know how all the powerful beings like him, but it's true. Goku has put an end to all the threats." Beerus and Whis quickly head to planet Earth, arriving in approximately 27 minutes. When they arrived, they would observe how Vegeta was training in the gravity machine. "Mr. Vegeta, how long has it been? Do you know where Mr. Goku is?" Vegeta would stop his training. "I don't know, Whis. I haven't seen the Kakarot bug in some time." "Whis, if it's not here, then we'd better get going." "Give me a moment, Mr. Beerus. Let me look for him where he is." Whis would look for Goku with his staff and find him. "Mr. Goku is on the planet of the Northern Kaio." "It's time to go, Whis. We'll soon come for you, Vegeta. We must become more powerful." Whis and Beerus would leave the place, arriving in a few minutes to the planet of Kaio. At the moment of arriving, they would observe Goku training. "So apparently Goku hasn't wasted any time either." "Oh, Mr. Beerus, a long time no see. What are you doing in this place?" "I've come for your son Goku. The High Priest has requested your presence. Apparently he wants to train you because thousands of powerful beings have appeared." "Are you serious, Mr. Beerus? The High Priest will train me?" "That's right, Mr. Goku. My father has offered to train you, but we must go quickly to the palace of the Kingdom of Everything." "I understand. We'll leave right now with that button that Zen-chan gave us." Meanwhile, in the Kingdom of Everything, with both Zeno-samas, one of them had taken a personality a little more negative than his counterpart. This Zeno-sama was the Zeno-sama of the future. That's right, the Zeno-sama was being corrupted by all the negative energy that Zamasu had released throughout the Universe 7. The quiet Zeno-sama was gradually being filled with a great foul power, which Daishinkan at the moment had noticed. "Great Zeno-sama, are you alright?"
I'm sorry, Daishinkan. If you hadn't noticed, I wouldn't have had to finish you off and you would have remained my guardian.
Zeno-sama at that moment would execute a binding technique.
No! What are you doing? It hurts! It hurts a lot! Guards, attack!
However, the guards would not move a single finger.
The king of everything must not be a child who only thinks of playing. You must die and become part of the true Zeno-sama.
Zeno-sama would totally merge with his counterpart, obtaining an abysmal power, making everything around him tremble.
Now it's your turn, Daishinkan. I hope you are ready. I must also finish off that damn Saiyan, since in the future, he could become a real nuisance.
Zeno-sama, please, think that what you're going to do. If you lose control, it'll be the end of the whole multiverse. You are the pillar that keeps it in balance.
I don't care if I annihilate it. I, the king of everything, can erase everything in its path, and in this way give life to new gods that aren't useless.
At that moment, Whis, Beerus, and Goku would arrive at the Kingdom of Everything, feeling a very tense atmosphere. That's right, the pressure of Zeno-sama was supreme. Sorry, it seems that we've arrived at a very bad time. We'll come back later.
Whis, get out of here immediately. He's not Zeno-sama. He's just an incredible mass of negative energy that wants to finish Goku and me.
Whis would try to run as quickly as he can with his staff. However, Zeno-sama's power was so much that he was able to interfere with the space-time of Whis' staff.
Thanks for coming. Now I could finish off that damn Saiyan once and for all. Beerus, if you don't want me to annihilate you, take my side.
Beerus would tremble with fear just by feeling a little bit of Zeno-sama's power. What are you going to do, Mr. Beerus? I'm neutral. I'm just here to guide you.
I don't care if you exterminate me in this place. I won't let you annihilate us so easily. Whis, what we have is training now.
Whis would create a great distance explosion that would leave Zeno-sama without vision for a few seconds. At that moment, Whis and Beerus had merged. Just as Goku had elevated his power to the maximum, gaining access to the Ultra Instinct maximum power. When the smoke dissipated, a furious Zeno-sama could be seen. That precise moment, the Guardians would attack.
Don't move. I can only deal with these worms. No matter what you do, compared to my power, you're nothing.
No matter how powerful you are, if we have a fighting spirit, we'll still stand a chance.
They all rushed against Zeno-sama, however, Zeno-sama was right. The beings in front of them did not have enough power to face him. Since he even absorbed all the power of his counterpart, Zeno-sama in that instant would create a temporal dimension.
Be locked up forever, and repent of turning against me.
Whis at that moment would strike Goku and Daishinkan into the dimension. Whis would communicate telepathically with the High Priest. If what you say is true, that is another dimension, so you could survive. You, as the Supreme Angel, I know you'll find a way out. This instant, I will leave everything on the battlefield.
No! Whis!
The connection would be severed, and the whole would swallow both beings.
Ha ha ha! You're a little smart, because if you entered that dimension, you'd never be able to get out, because it's sealed with a power similar to mine.
I don't know what happened to you, Zeno-sama, but you're not like that. For the pride of all the gods, I will fight till the end. Whis would launch an attack, but it was useless, and Zeno-sama, in that instant, would raise his hand, erasing him completely, leaving no trace of Whis.
Wow, what a waste. He could have been an excellent candidate for the Guardian of Death.
Zeno-sama, the death of the angel Whis in the god Beerus, Universe 7, has been left without a god of destruction. What shall we do?
Look for a candidate of god of destruction and bring him immediately. I'll check if he's worthy or not to be it.
As you command, Zeno-sama.
The Guardians would leave at a great speed to the Universe 7. Supreme beings, they would arrive in a few moments, heading immediately to planet Earth. Upon arrival, Prince Vegeta would recognize them immediately.
But if you're the Guardians of Zeno-sama, what are you doing here?
You, Mr. Vegeta, have been chosen to be the new god of destruction of Universe 7.
Vegeta was surprised to hear what the Guardian said.
What happened to Lord Beerus?
The god Beerus, along with his angel Whis and son Goku, have disrespected the king of everything, so Zeno-sama eliminated them completely.
This can't be happening. Lord Beerus would never disrespect the great Zeno-sama.
Do you accept or not? Otherwise we will eliminate this entire universe, since the universe must always have a destroyer god.
Of course I accept. I'll not let the whole universe disappear.
Very good choice. Then come with us.
The Guardians would take Vegeta to the palace of the Kingdom of Everything.
Great Zeno-sama. He will be that being that will be the new god of Universe 7.
So he's the Prince of the Saiyans. I knew he'd be an excellent god, and he won't be lazy like you are, that damn cat.
Vegeta would say to himself,
Who is this guy? His presence is totally different than that of Zeno-sama, as it emits a feeling of death and destruction. Unbelievable. Are you ready? Because before becoming a god, I must perform a ritual. Of course, Zeno-sama.
At that moment that Vegeta would accept, a great pentagram would form all around him. That's right, the ritual to ascend a mortal to a god had begun. Meanwhile, in a room which seemed like the underworld where Goku and Daishinkan both already awakened. Damn, that damned Whis and Beerus were able to deceive us completely. Those wretches threw us in this dimension.
You're completely wrong, son Goku. Whis didn't throw us into this dimension since it was the only way to preserve our lives. Whis was the distraction.
Did Mr. Beerus and Whis really do that? I swear I won't forgive that bastard. I thought we were friends.
He's not Zeno-sama. Since at the time I returned from Universe 7, Zeno-sama of the future was about to absorb Zeno-sama of our time.
That means...
That's right, son Goku. Zeno-sama of the future murdered your friend Zen-chan.
That wretch. I'll tear him to pieces. I don't care if he begs for his life. I'll finish him off with my own hands.
For that moment would be impossible, Mr. Goku, since Zeno-sama's power doubled when he absorbed his counterpart.
There's never been a limit for me. I swear I'll become more powerful. I'll leave this place and I'll make it trouble with only my presence. Just as he did.
Then Mr. Goku, we'd better start our training, since I can see that this dimension's very different from ours.
Of course it is, Daishinkan-sama. Goku began to raise his power in a surprising way to be able to withstand Daishinkan's training.
Begin.
Goku and Daishinkan have been locked in a dimension very different from the dimension they came from. The High Priest Daishinkan would find out about it. This is the perfect place to become beings of great power, or the perfect place to die. Why does Daishinkan-sama say that? In this dimension, time stops much faster. One day outside of this dimension here is 50 years. Goku wanted to be very surprised by what the High Priest said. You being an angel, nothing will happen to you, but I'll die because of my age. Don't worry, it's Goku. Just like you said, being an angel and the High Priest, I can grant you eternal youth. Daishinkan extended his hand, making Goku possess eternal youth. Meanwhile, in the realm of everything was Zeno-sama, who didn't seem all happy about his victory. I feel that something's not right. Despite having those locked up pesky people, I don't feel safe. At that moment, one of his guardians would snap him out of his thoughts. Great Zeno-sama, the remaining 11 gods of destruction heard about the death of the god Beerus. What do we do? One thing Daishinkan was right about was to create a new divine hierarchy. Do you plan to create a new hierarchy, Great Zeno-sama? That's right. I'll put the demon assassin in charge. He'll have the same authority as me. If he wants to destroy any universe, it is his right. The Guardians would be a little scared to hear that the being would rule the new hierarchy would be the demon assassin. To be able to invoke the killer demon, I need his powers, so it's time to form the true king of everything. The Guardians would obey. Beginning to merge, the 12 universes would tremble. At that moment, an imposing being would be observed. That's right, it was the battle form of the King of Everything. It's time! I, the King of Everything, Zeno-sama. I break the universal seal and invoke you, killing demon. At that moment, everything around him began to be destroyed. Lightning, fireballs, lightning fell everywhere. It was the power of a truly powerful being. At that moment, a being with the appearance of a child appeared in front of everyone.
Oh, this fresh air! After such a long time, return to the earthly world.
Zeno-sama would stand in front of Mizuko.
Long time no see, Mizuko, the Demon Slayer.
Both of them would collide their gazes, and an incredible pressure would fall on the whole realm of everything. That's right, the power they gave off was extremely impressive.
Original king of everything! Did you free me?
That's right. I did it because you will rule the new divine hierarchy. You'll have the same authority as mine.
Mizuko was a little surprised.
Why this behavior? Millions of years ago you almost gave your life to seal me, and now you set me free.
The only thing you should know is that I'm not Zeno-sama.
Mizuko would be much more surprised to know that the being in front of him had enough power to control a king at all. Meanwhile, in Universe 7, there was Vegeta as the new god of destruction. However, this was very thoughtful, as all gods have a guardian angel. However, Vegeta had none. But from one moment to the next, a portal would be in front of that. Vegeta would be on guard. But this would leave one of Zeno-sama's guardians.
We regret not being able to send you a guardian angel sooner, but the angelic realm is far away from these universes.
I understand. Don't worry.
She will be your new guardian.
At that moment, Mikoshin would appear in front of Vegeta.
So you'll be my apprentice from this moment on. I hope you're not like the other gods who only like to sleep.
She is a guardian that exceeds the level of Daishinkan, but since there were no angels left, she was the only one who accepted.
Vegeta would be surprised to learn that a being much more powerful than the great priest Daishinkan-sama would be his teacher.
Thank you very much. Of course I'm not like the other gods. I like to train to someday become the most powerful Saiyan of the 12 universes.
That's the attitude I like. Who will be great partners?
Well, I'm retiring.
The Guardian would leave again to the realm of the whole.
Well, starting tomorrow, we'll begin training.
We'd better start from this very moment.
Vegeta would throw himself against Mikoshin, who would dodge each of his blows with incredible ease. Mikoshin would stop Vegeta at any moment.
I can see that you use much more head when attacking, but your style is not the Ultra Instinct. Your style will be the Ultra Ego.
Ultra Ego?
That's right. Your body will control 100% of the destructive energy, being able to disintegrate any being that only touches your aura. It is a maximum defense and attack.
Vegeta would be surprised by the state in which the angel was going to help him reach.
I've never heard of something like the Ultra Ego. Whis never mentioned anything like that to us.
So you met Whis, one of my younger brothers. He wasn't able to teach you that state because only the renegade angels know it, and Whis as well as the other angels only master the doctrine or state of Ultra Instinct.
Only master? Are you?
Mikoshin, without letting Vegeta finish, would say to him,
That's right, I'm capable of using the Ultra Instinct as well as the Ultra Ego.
At that moment, Mikoshin would increase his power a little bit by changing his doctrine, making his aura a little bit more destructive. Vegeta would be in shock, feeling such pressure.
As you can see, this is the doctrine of the Ultra Ego. Its destructive power is incredible, but if you face a being that dominates 100% the Ultra Instinct, both energies will be neutralized, and only the being that has more experience or power will win.
As of today, I'll be the most powerful Saiyan that has ever existed in the 12 universes.
Meanwhile, on planet Earth, Chi-Chi was very worried about the disappearance of Goku. That's right, it had already been 2 days in which nothing had known of Goku. Meanwhile, in Universe 6, the God Destroyer Champa was disintegrating all the planets that were in its path. That's right, he was furious to learn of the death of his brother.
Damn it! Why did that Beerus die? It's true, we didn't get along, but he was my brother, and I can't do anything because the King of Everything would eliminate me in a few seconds. Damn it!
Mr. Champa, please calm down. We don't know what happened. We only received that communication.
Returning to the time room, 4 days had already passed, which was the equivalent of 200 years. That's right, the power of both had grown in an impressive way, but the one that obtained more results was the Saiyan Goku. As his body was designed for battles, his Zenkais were amazing, being able to defeat any angel without any difficulty. But he was still far from the power of Daishinkan and much farther from the power of Zeno-sama fused.
Daishinkan-sama, We've trained for so many years, but in spite of that, I don't feel that my strength is increasing as much as it was in the beginning.
From what I've researched, you Saiyans need enhancing transformations to be able to increase your power.
I understand. That means I should just adopt Ultra Instinct as my base state.
You're right. You are, Goku.
Since Goku was the only one to be in Ultra Instinct to be able to obtain better results, however, Goku was not the only one, since Daishinkan was able to achieve a new transformation, being able to overcome the power of a Supreme Guardian. His power was so much that even Son Goku would be surprised.
The power that Daishinkan-sama is releasing is impressive. I can't believe it.
After a big explosion, we could see Daishinkan, who had an intimidating appearance.
This is my maximum power, and even with this power, we're not able to get out of this place.
Don't worry, Daishinkan-sama. Rest assured that we'll get out of this place and take revenge on that imposter who calls himself the king of everything.
Goku and Daishinkan-sama began to train in a very arduous way, but in the same way Goku Saiyan had grown his tail. That's right, because he needed a new evolution. That's right, without Goku or Daishinkan noticing, Goku Saiyan's tail had grown. One day both were training, and at that moment Daishinkan would throw a white energy sphere which Goku would dodge. However, Goku would return to observe the whole explosion. But to Daishinkan's surprise, Goku began to transform into a giant Ozaru.
What the hell? From what I understand, they only transform when they possess their tails. Or Goku doesn't possess a tail before he entered this place.
The immense Ozaru began to attack Daishinkan, who, by miracle, was able to dodge a large sphere of energy. But in the distance, you could see a large explosion that, if it had been outside that dimension, would have been able to destroy 6 universes together without any problem.
Damn, that power that Lord Goku's releasing is impressive. It surpasses mine with ease, but he's not able to control it.
Daishinkan would try to make Son Goku come to his senses. However, he was not able to do it, and from one moment to another, Goku managed to catch Daishinkan, starting to slowly crush him.
Goku! Don't forget our mission! How can we let that miserable dwarf get away with his mission?
Daishinkan-sama.
That's right, Goku. You can control him. I trust you.
The gigantic Ozaru would release the Great Priest. That's right, Goku was able to release his Ozaru state. At that moment, a great light would illuminate the whole dimension, and at that moment, a being with an opposing appearance would appear in front of Daishinkan. That's right, Goku's power was incredible, but something had noticed his fur and hair, since his fur was a purple color, and while his hair was a red color. At that moment, Goku would return to observe Daishinkan.
Thank you very much for making me come back to my Daishinkan. The power that I possess now is incredible. So this is what he meant when he said that I should be an empowering transformation.
Daishinkan was amazed by the bestial power that Son Goku was emanating.
Goku! His power is awesome. His power is capable of even defeating the king altogether before absorbing his counterpart.
Don't be surprised with so little, Daishinkan. This is only 45% of all my power in this transformation. I can still unleash more power.
Daishinkan would be much more surprised by the words of Goku. Meanwhile, in the Kingdom of Everything, a meeting would be held to introduce Mizuko, who would be responsible for monitoring any anomaly in all universes. At the end of the meeting, the god Champa, without enduring more, would stand up.
Great Zeno-sama! With the respect you deserve, what happened to my brother Beerus?
We don't want to talk about that right now. The meeting's over. Please leave at this time.
I want an explanation right now! I don't want to leave without knowing what happened to Beerus.
At that moment, with a cold look, he would disintegrate the destroyer god Champa, leaving all the other gods frightened.
If they do not comply with the orders of the great Zeno-sama, I will take care of it myself, eliminating them one by one.
He's a monster! His power is abominable! Mizuko would hear the words of the god Vermouth.
You're mistaken. I'm the same demon.
Mizuko had eliminated Champa, the god of Universe 6, in a few seconds, making all the other gods fear him.
As I said, the meeting's over. You may return to your universes.
At the moment that all would leave, Zeno-sama would approach his guardians.
At this instant, look at for a being that is worthy of being the god of destruction of Universe 6. When you found him, you'll bring him in the same way to perform the ceremony to God.
As you order, Zeno-sama.
The guardians would leave to the Universe 6 at a great speed. At the moment that Mizuko and Zeno-sama were left alone, began to both speak.
You don't fool me. You're Cantor.
I knew you'd notice my true identity. That's right. I am Cantor.
After millions of years, we meet again. So you did accomplish your goal.
Of course I did. I assure you that damn dwarf was going to regret exterminating our race.
Flashback hundreds of millions of years ago, Zeno-sama together with Daishinkan were rolling through the 18 universes. However, Zeno-sama would notice a very peculiar race with the 18th universe, and together with Daishinkan they would observe to arrive at the planet.
Who the hell are they? And what are you doing here? Don't you know who we are?
We're not interested in knowing who you are, but because of your lack of education, you will be erased this instant.
You don't have the necessary power to eliminate their demonic warrior race.
Mizuko was instantly in front of Daishinkan, who would be able to observe her blow, but her body was slow. That's right, that being surpassed the power of Ultra Instinct, being able to hit Daishinkan. Zeno-sama, upon realizing the power of this being, would quickly merge with his guardians. Accessing his battle form in a place not so far away was a being which was very wounded due to a great battle he had. His name was Cantor. Cantor would observe how Zeno-sama, with his last energies, would be able to seal Mizuko. However, before being sealed, Cantor would communicate with Mizuko.
Don't worry, Mizuko. I promise to control the King Worm completely and free you.
Mizuko at that moment would be sealed. Cantor would swallow his anger, not to be discovered. After a while, he would recover and begin to wander through all the universes, and had already passed a few million and, moment to another, was able to observe Zeno-sama destroying the entire Universe 7. At that time, Cantor, with his special ability, would be able to enter the body of Zeno-sama, controlling it little by little to be able to dominate his body completely. And flashback.
Cantor, my friend, you did it! I always trusted you. I knew you were going to rescue me from that damned place.
That's right. But we have to revive all the demons since there's a Saiyan named Goku. I've already locked him in a forbidden dimension, but I feel that something's wrong.
You are always the wisest of all, so I'll not ignore your warning. I'll do everything possible to bring the demons back to life.
Meanwhile, in Universe 6, the Guardians were looking for the perfect war to take place of the God Destroyer Champa. While after a while, an ideal warrior would be hit. However, a hit would refuse.
If he doesn't come with us, he will leave us no choice but to end his life.
He would be a little surprised to know that if he didn't accept, they would end his life. Hit, without any other alternative, would accept the position of God of Destruction. At the moment of accepting, the Guardians would take him to the Kingdom of Everything, and Zeno-sama would perform the same ritual with the Saiyan Vegeta. Meanwhile, on the planet of the God of Destruction Vegeta, a few months had passed since he had begun his training, obtaining great results, being able to access the Ultra Ego for about 15 minutes. After that, his energy reserves were at 0.
You're the most impressive Saiyan I've ever met! Your power increases in an amazing way. I can't believe it!
That's because I'm the Prince of the Saiyans. I'm the Great Vegeta, and I must be the most powerful Saiyan of all the universes. So let's continue training.
Returning to the time room, Goku and Daishinkan would also continue training. That's right, the power of both had increased so much that they were already able to leave that dimension. However, they still did not do it because they wanted to become much more powerful to not run the risk of not being able to defeat Zeno-sama.
Daishinkan-sama, we've trained for thousands of years in this place, and we still haven't come out. How long will we stay? With the power we possess now, we're already capable of defeating Zeno-sama's dwarf.
Let's train for a while longer. I have a very bad feeling, and we better be prepared, so we won't be caught off guard.
Goku and Daishinkan would train again. Goku would already be able to defeat Daishinkan using 70% of all his power. That's right, Goku's power had grown so much that currently not even a Supreme Guardian Angel would be able to face him. Meanwhile, on planet Earth, Bulma was also worried. She tried to communicate with him, however, it was useless. She had no answer from the staff of Whis. Meanwhile, on the planet of Vegeta, he was having a difficult training. However, at the end of the training, he would approach Mikoshin.
Mikoshin, let's go to planet Earth. I want to visit my family. I haven't heard from them for months.
As you order, Vegeta-sama.
Both would go to planet Earth, arriving in 5 minutes, to the Mikoshin being much faster than even Whis. While Vegeta arrived at Bulma's house, everyone was surprised to see him with the clothes of a destroyer god.
But Vegeta, what happened to you?
Vegeta would take Bulma by the arm and leave to talk in a much more private place.
1,000 things have happened, but Zeno-sama killed Beerus and Whis.
But what happened? What are you talking about? They murdered Mr. Beerus?
That's right, but it really wasn't Zeno-sama. I'm sure that someone's controlling Zeno-sama from the shadows. So I wanted you to tell all the vermin to train, that a very complicated battle is about to approach.
But what do you plan to do?
I plan to be on the side of the gods until we know what their true intentions are and how we'll defeat them.
It's okay, Vegeta. I trust you.
Vegeta would leave Bulma's house.
Now, if Mikoshin, we can leave.
As you command, Vegeta-sama.
After they were leaving, Bulma started to tell everyone what Vegeta had told her. That means we must become much more powerful.
In that case, we should train in the time room since there isn't much time.
Mr. Piccolo's right. It is the best alternative.
All the Z warriors began to head towards the time room. Meanwhile, returning to Goku and Daishinkan, several million years have already passed, in which their powers had increased in an absurdly impressive way.
Daishinkan, it's time to leave this place.
I agree with you, Goku. The time has come.
Meanwhile, in Universe 6, Hit was very thoughtful. At the moment, Vados would approach him.
Mr. Hit, is something wrong? Of course it is. I don't understand how the king of everything, Zeno-sama, allowed the death of Beerus and Mr. Champa. Something bad's happening in the High Command. I also believe the same thing, Hit-sama, but we can't do anything about it. We're not able to observe how Mizuko disintegrated Mr. Champa without any effort. That wretch will pay me for ending Mr. Champa's life. Vados, please train me. I want to be of help and assassinate that guy named Mizuko. Of course I'll train him, Hit-sama, but it is impossible for him to kill Mizuko. Why are you saying that, Vados? Is there something you're not telling me? Hit-sama, since the death of Champa, I've been investigating that guy. And I found something creepy.
What did you find? Please tell me.
That being is the Killer Demon.
Killer Demon? Why that name? What feat did he do in the past?
Mizuko, killer of 18 super gods and 9 super angels. He's the most powerful demon ever known so far. No demon more powerful than him has ever existed.
Just as he's known as the Demon Assassin.
I'm known as the Legendary Assassin. One of the two of us will be left standing.
Vados and Hit would train in the same way to avenge the death of Champa-sama. Meanwhile, returning to the dimension of Goku and Daishinkan, both were releasing an extremely impressive power to be able to escape from that place. However, a being of Saiyan appearance would appear in front of both of them.
Well, so you're the ones who expelled that overwhelming power. I can't believe it. You're only an angel and another Saiyan. Who are you? I'm a hybrid Saiyan.
Hybrid Saiyan?
That's right. I'm the union of a goddess and a Saiyan.
Goku would be a little surprised to know that this guy was the divine immortal result. However, the essence of this guy gave off was absolute evil. That's right, Zykor would give a great blow to Daishinkan, which would send him flying hundreds of meters away.
You'll not leave this dimension, since I am the protector, and I have clear orders.
So that damn dwarf sent you so that we won't be able to leave. But because of sending more warriors, only one will be pulverized.
Don't underestimate me. I've lived through several of your lives. I have much more experience than you, so I'm capable of finishing you off without you realizing it.
I want to see you try. I don't think you have enough power to make me bleed.
Zykor, very annoyed, would throw himself against Goku, giving him a strong blow in the face. However, the blow would not move him even a little bit. Zykor would be a little scared because that blow had been directed with 50% of all his power.
I must admit you have a great power, but tell me, What do you think of this?
Zykor would begin to increase his power in a surprising way. However, it would not be enough for the Saiyan that surpassed all his limits. That's right, Goku only dodged each of his blows. Goku, by increasing his power a little, the same dimension would begin to distort. That's right, the same room had created stars, planets. Zykor, from one moment to another, would be thrown with such brutal force towards a planet, and Goku on the surface would begin to charge a powerful Kamehameha.
I will not die in this place, much less for a Saiyan that's not even as old as me. Demonic Fury!
Zykor would have activated a secret technique of the demons. That's right, Zykor was the mixture of the divine and mortal world, but the divine world, there were also demons, so Zykor was a demonic Saiyan. Zykor, with his new obtained power, would also charge a great attack, throwing it against Goku's Kamehameha. However, he'd be surprised that he observed that Goku's attack destroyed his attack with total ease. That's right, Goku had been able to pulverize one of the demons that Kantor and Mizuko had revived.
That was too easy.
Daishinkan was amazed by the power that Goku demonstrated a few moments ago.
It's time to get out of this damn place. You better be ready, because I don't plan on leaving anyone alive.
Goku would increase a great part of his power, creating an explosion in that dimension, being able to even feel it in the 12 universes. Goku had unleashed an incredible power, so much so that he even exploded the dimension and created a great explosion in the 12 universes, which had been felt by all the gods, including the beings that were in the realm of the whole.
Damn it, I know those wretches won't stay in the infernal dimension for long. This is bad. If we don't do something, they'll finish us off.
You must not worry. Remember that we have the support of all the gods of destruction, and I'm with you. I am the demon assassin.
Kantor would be a little calmer, however, he would begin to merge with his guardians. That's right, he had passed to his combat mode, however, Goku and Daishinkan, without wasting time, would head towards the Kingdom of Everything. That's right, arriving in a matter of seconds, having increased his power, his speed even exceeded that of a Supreme Guardian. Kantor and Mizuko would be surprised to observe them in front of them since they did not notice his arrival.
After millennia in the room you sent us to, I was able to see your true identity. Damn you, Kantor.
That's right, Zeno-sama wouldn't be able to do something like that to have us. For having controlled his body, put the 12 universe in absolute chaos, we'll exterminate you.
At that moment, Mizuko's voice would echo into the back of Goku.
You're just a child compared to our power, and you don't have enough power to face us, much less me. I'm the demon assassin. You're fast, but I don't care who the hell you are. Today, your reign comes to an end.
Mizuko, without caring about Goku's words, will direct a powerful blow which Goku, at a speed much more surprising than Mizuko's, would teleport quickly. Dodging Mizuko's blow and with a strong kick would make him fall to the ground, Daishinkan at that moment would create a small sphere in his finger, throwing it at Kantor, which began to move at a great speed. However, the tiny sphere at a certain point was able to reach him, generating an agonizing pain in him.
What the hell happened? It was just a small sphere of energy. How could you hurt me so much? Knowing who you really are, I could do great damage to you since you don't possess angelic energy. On the contrary, your energy's demonic. If I attack you with angelic energy, the damage caused would be unbelievable.
Kantor at that moment would move at a great speed, beginning to exchange blows with Daishinkan. However, at that precise moment, all the gods of destruction would arrive. The most surprised would be the god Vegeta of Universe 7 and the god of Universe 6, Hit, which would recognize Goku immediately.
Gods and angels, give me all your power to finish with this damn garbage.
No god would respond to his request. However, an angry Mikoshin would raise his power in an amazing way, leaving everyone surprised.
Kantor had asked for the help of all of you, and you just ignored him. I'll not allow that. Angelic extraction, divine pulse.
At that moment, Mikoshin had been able to hit all the gods in essential points, with the exception of Vegeta and Hit, which were able to dodge the blows by millimeters. The power of all the gods and angels began to enter Kantor's body.
Vegeta-sama, despite being my god of destruction, I can't allow him to be a hindrance in this battle. I'll have to end his life. Mikotion at that moment would rush against Vegeta, who was not able to move as he was in his base state. However, Hit would manage to stop time for approximately 2 seconds, being able to save Vegeta's life.
Yo, me one. That crazy woman was going to end your life with a single blow. I know you're my teacher, but you're all on the wrong side. And that guy's a damn monster who only thinks about himself and no one else.
At that moment, Orange Piccolo and Gohan Beast would arrive at the battlefield. That's right, both had finished their training achieving new transformations.
We've felt the power that we're releasing on the planet Earth. We don't have enough power to finish with those two guys, but we can help you.
That's right, if you want to interfere in my father and Daishinkan's battle, you must first finish us off. No matter how many worms unite against me, the result will be the same. Mikotion at that moment would begin to move at a great speed, which had the intention to finish with all of them in one blow. However, Hit again would use his temporal jumping techniques and be able to counter the attack of the Angel. At that moment, all the warriors had thrown themselves against Mikotion, which with difficulty dodged the attacks of all of them. Damn it! If there were only 2 of them, I could defeat them without any problem.
Receive this! Final Radiance!
Hit at that moment would paralyze time, making Vegeta's attack reach her directly. However, after that great explosion, Mikotion would come out furious, increasing all her power, and at that moment, she would throw herself against the 4 warriors, giving a great battle which was capable of destroying all the 12 universes. Meanwhile, with Mizuko and Goku, their battle was the most destructive and impressive, since the battle of both had a power surprising the power of a king of the supreme everything. The clash of both achieved that planets disintegrate. Although Goku tried to neutralize the waves of energy, Mizuko would not allow, since in exchange of blows increased or decreased the power of his blows, so that all the beings of all the multiverses were affected. Saiyan, you're not a protector, and you, like us, are a destroyer of the world. All this is being caused because you came out of the dimension which Cantor locked you in. You're lying, because if we stayed in that place forever, you'd be that damned Cantor would have destroyed all the universes, leaving nothing behind. You're right. We were only going to wipe out all of these nuisances, but now we're going to do it right in front of your eyes. That'll happen only if I allow it. Goku would take a much more serious battle, beginning to connect some excellent blows, which were making Mizuko to lose power every moment, since he had to use energy in all the wounds that the Saiyan was doing. Meanwhile, Cantor and Daishinkan both were very evenly matched. However, Cantor sometimes had the advantage since his energy reserves were much larger than Daishinkan's energy reserves, managing to throw large spheres of energy without wasting so much power. However, in the melee battle, Daishinkan, being a Supreme Angel, had much more experience, being able to give him some blows which made him spit blood.
This can't be happening. I even had the power to control a king at all, and I'll be defeated by this damn servant. This is unforgivable.
Cantor would use much more power than Zeno-sama's body was able to withstand. That's right, Cantor, even through her life is affected, she was not able to go to allow the servant of the king of everything to be the one to end her life. Meanwhile, with the Battle of Mikotion, the 4 warriors were putting her in great trouble. However, at that moment, everyone was surprised to be paralyzed. How interesting it was to play with you. How could you think you had a chance against me, an Angel Supreme? Mikotion at that moment would finish with the lives of all the warriors, heading quickly to the battle of Goku and Cantor, since finishing with the most powerful being meant that they had won this war. Goku, to observe Mikotion, would feel a great arrow pierce his heart. That's right, Mikotion had been able to hurt Goku, not physically, but internally, since Goku knew that all his friends were fighting with that woman. Did you kill all my friends? Did you dare to do that? That's right. I ended the lives of those scum who called themselves warriors.
I'll swear I'll kill them all, you bastards!
Goku's anger at that moment reached an incredible level, and the silhouette of a gigantic Ozaru was observed, or rather only its face. Since it had the size of the entire universe, all those present were surprised. Not so much by the silhouette of the Ozaru, they were more surprised by the power of the Ozaru. They were more surprised that Goku was releasing this power, and at that moment, Goku had even surpassed the speed of light, had finished with the life of Mikotion, and in a matter of blink of an eye, at that moment Mizuko would begin to tremble. This can't be happening. I'm the murderous demon, the one that ends with the hope of all beings. But this guy will finish me off. Mizuko at that moment began to move throughout the universe. That's right, Mizuko, what he wanted was to escape from the monster in front of him. However, Goku, which had exceeded all his limits, Mizuko was a corpse more. Goku at that moment would stand in front of Mizuko. Goku would not say anything, just give a scream. The skin of the whole body of Mizuko is torn from his face. The airwave was brutal. Goku at that moment would create a large sphere of energy, which would not leave even ashes of Mizuko. However, before dying, he would communicate telepathically with Cantor. Cantor, you are the genius of our race, but this time you are a real idiot. How could you lock up these warriors? You should have ended their lives when they were no threat whatsoever. At the moment, Mizuko would be reduced to simple atoms. Goku would stand in front of Cantor, who just observed his cold gaze would be paralyzed.
I had enough fun with that imposter. You could do whatever you want, Goku.
Please, have mercy on me. I swear that I'll leave this multiverse and you'll never hear from me again. Goku at that moment began to give a beating to Cantor, who, despite doing the impossible to defend himself, was not able to stop a single blow of the Saiyan, who was exploding with anger. After 5 minutes of battle, or rather the worst humiliation that Cantor had suffered in his entire existence, Goku would create a giant sphere of energy, throwing it at him. Leaving no trace of the same form, Goku at that moment would fall out of combat. The power that Goku had used had surpassed all his limits. Daishinkan would take him to a room of the Kingdom of the Whole so that he could recover.
Until Lord Goku wakes up, I'll be in charge of gathering the Super Dragon Balls so that everything returns to normal.
Daishinkan would quickly gather all the Super Dragon Balls after 5 days, which Goku had been unconscious. Both would make their wish, which had been that everything returns to normal, before Cantor multiplied the king of everything, Zeno-sama.
Friend Goku, thank you so much for making everything go back to normal.
I know I could trust in Son Goku. After all, you were my best warrior, and now you're the most powerful warrior in all the multiverses.
Damn insect, I don't think I'll let you beat me so easily. I'll train harder too.
At that moment, all the universes had returned to normal, while Daishinkan and Goku would be the new protectors of the 12 universes, having the power and authority to kill any evil being that surpasses the power of a destructive god. At last, it's all over.
After millennia of imprisonment, it's all been worth it.
That's right, and now we won't let anyone endanger all the universes.
It was a normal day in the life of the inhabitants of planet Earth. People were eating in restaurants, walking with their families. There were children playing when suddenly a giant lightning bolt was seen in the sky that caused a strong movement throughout the Earth's surface. Buildings collapsed. People could not stand up. Windows exploded. All this resulted in car accidents and injuries. At the moment, a child was going to be pierced by a giant glass that fell from a building. Very close by, we see how a being that we cannot distinguish who it is flies through the skies at great speed, rescuing people who were in danger due to the strong movement. At the precise moment when the child was about to die, that being rescues him, seeing how a huge piece of glass explodes against the ground. We see how this hooded being stands up from behind, revealing that it was none other than Goku, who had been hidden for a long time because Daishinkan and the angels wanted to see him dead. Goku, with a different appearance than the one we all know, after rescuing the boy, is amazed by the energy that emerges from the earth to the sky. We can see how Vegeta arrives at the place where Goku is together with the Z Warriors, who were still saving people from the disaster. Vegeta looks at Goku face to face and says, "Kakarot, insect, where have you been all this time?" At that moment, Gohan and Goten arrive and tell him, "Dad, where have you been?" "What happened to you, father?" All this happened while Piccolo, Krillin, Trunks, and Android 18 were rescuing the people affected by the movement. After having finished saving them, they arrive to where they are reunited with Goku and look at him very surprised. In a head-to-toe scan, we can see Goku's face very emaciated, with wounds and pronounced cheekbones because he had not tasted any kind of food for a long time. At that moment, we go back in time about 20 years ago. We see how Goku and his son Goten are walking together in the forest.
Goku, talking to his son, says,
"Hey, Goten, are you ready to fish today?"
to which Goten replies,
"Yes, Dad. Will you show me the fastest way to catch them?"
Goku, happy for his son's enthusiasm, replies,
"Of course, Goten, but this time I'm going to try something different. Watch this."
Goku dives into the water and after a short time comes out with a big jump with a huge fish moving on his hands. Goten, very surprised, says to his father,
"Wow, Dad, how did you do that?"
Goku, showing a very happy expression, says,
"When I was little like you, Goten, I had to find my own food in order to live. You should try to give it a try."
Goten, very excited, says to his father,
"I'll try."
And so Goten dives into the water to the joyful sight of his father, to which, on the first attempt, Goten fails to catch any fish. Seeing Goten's sad face, Goku encourages his son, saying,
"Don't worry, Goten. It's a matter of practice and patience. The key is to be quick and not scare the fish."
So Goten dives in again, but this time it takes a long time to come out. When suddenly Goku feels a very powerful ki very close to where he was. Because of this, Goku worried about his son's dives in search of him. Once in the water, he sees Goten fainted and next to him a very strange artifact. Goku, worried about the state in which he found his son, swims to rescue him. At the moment, he was about to lift his son in his arms, ready to go to the surface, the strange artifact begins to emit a very sharp sound that only Goku hears. Wu, with a face of confusion and pain, tries to lift his son, but suddenly the artifact comes off the ground and permeates his chest. Once on his chest, the artifact stops emitting that strange sound and Goku stops feeling the ki of a moment ago. Goku does not take importance to what had happened to him and worried about his son. He lifts him up to get him out of the water. Once outside, Goku puts his son on the ground to revive him, but suddenly an unknown being appeared to him. This being had a greenish coat, blue hair with black tips, and it was a very strange appearance. But it did not seem to be something real. It looked like an illusion. Goku, upon realizing this being, became alert and put his son in good protection. After that, addressing the being, he asks him,
"Who are you? What do you want here?"
This being, without uttering a word, rushes at high speed towards Goku, who in an act of reflex manages to dodge the first blow. But the speed of the stranger exceeds him by far. Because of that, after dodging the first blow, the unknown being lunges with a kick to the head, which Goku barely manages to block, leaving his stomach exposed, where he takes the opportunity to impact a direct punch, automatically leaving Goku out of air, and thus returns to lunge with a blow to the nape of the neck. Goku, when he was about to lose consciousness, hears a voice in the distance that says, "Apparently this is my best guest that could touch me," saying this in a sarcastic way. "I hope my colleagues are in good condition." After hearing these words, Goku faints. A few minutes after the fleeting confrontation, Goku regains consciousness and realizing that the unknown being was no longer in the place, he looks for Goten, and when he finds him, he begins to unexpectedly and repeatedly call his name to make him react. Seeing that calling him had no effect, he feels his breathing and notices that he was almost not breathing. He creates an energy sphere in his hand and places it on Goten's chest. Once Goten revives the energy from his father, he reacts and spurts water from his mouth. Goten, with a puzzled expression, asks his father what had happened, to which Goku says, "I have the same question for you. What happened?" Goten tells him that at the precise moment he was about to capture the fish, he felt attracted to the artifact, which also tried to impregnate in his chest. At the time, Goten felt a strong source of energy that ran through every part of his body, which was very difficult to control, and felt how that strange energy weakened him until he lost consciousness and fainted. Goku, in his thoughts, and that he also felt the same strange and very powerful energy running through his body, and worried about his son, asked him if he still felt that energy inside him. Goku, calmly and a little puzzled, told him no, that he only felt that when the artifact was trying to permeate him. While this was happening on Earth, Whis and Beerus went to the Kingdom of Everything to talk to Daishinkan, since they had noticed him very tense and worried. Once they were already in the Kingdom of Everything, Daishinkan appears with a very serious expression, while Whis and Beerus bow to him to show respect. Daishinkan, relieved to see that Whis and Beerus were with him, tells them something very strange and dangerous is about to happen.
Whis, with a puzzled expression, asks, "What is it, Father? We'd noticed a certain tension in the air as we reached the realm of the whole." Beerus, yawning without realizing the seriousness of the fright, says to him,
Trouble again? What could be so dangerous to make Daishinkan so worried? Serious and worried, the High Priest?
to which Daishinkan replies,
Yes, I'm afraid so. A powerful entity has resurfaced, once we have not faced in a long time.
Whis, with a very serious expression, says to him, "An unknown entity? Could it be one of the beings we left sealed away long ago?"
It is possible, Wisp. Its energies are as dark as they are disconcerting. I cannot identify the source with certainty, but its power is overwhelming.
Beerus, frowning, says,
Why should I worry about it? If it's that strong, I'll go destroy it.
Daishinkan, with a very serious expression, explains,
It's not that simple, Lord Beerus. This entity seems to have the ability to change even the most ancient gods. We cannot underestimate it.
Whis thoughtfully asks his father, "How do you suggest we deal with this situation, Father?"
We need to gather information before we act rashly. Whis, Beerus, I trust you with the task of investigating. Find out all you can about this entity and any weaknesses it may have.
Beerus, smiling confidently, exclaimed,
Good, good. A little action won't hurt.
Nodding, Whis replies, "We will be on our way, Daishinkan, but be aware that if this entity threatens our universe, we will not hesitate to take drastic measures."
I understand, Whis. May wisdom guide your actions, and may you return with the information we need.
After that conversation, Whis and Beerus depart for the hitherto unknown destination, while Daishinkan watches with concern, aware of the gravity of the situation looming in the realm of everything. As they were on their way back to Earth to ask for Goku and Vegeta's help, Whis recalls that when they were on their way to the realm of everything, he sensed a very strong and dangerous key on planet Earth. Halfway through his quest in the universe, he stops and, confused, Beerus says to Whis,
What's wrong? Why are you stopping?
Whis, very serene, says to Beerus, "Oh, my dear Lord Beerus, it turns out on our way to the realm of everything, I detected a rather intriguing presence." Yawning, Beerus asks,
A mysterious entity. We didn't need to get any of what Daishinkan told us.
Whis, with a nervous smile, replies, "Don't worry, Mr. Beerus. This time it doesn't seem to be a direct threat. I just felt a fleeting flash of power, something that crossed our path." Beerus frowns at Whis.
And you didn't give it any importance? Isn't that what Daishinkan was talking about?
"Well, the truth is, I didn't consider it an immediate threat. It was like a flash of power energy, but it disappeared as quickly as it came. It didn't seem to have any hostile intentions." Beerus, thinking about the situation, asks,
So what shall we do then? Does Daishinkan want us to investigate something like this?
"Yes, but I think the best option is to go ahead with our main mission, to find out what the entity has surfaced." The fleeting Goku, somewhat worried, nods and says, "It seems so. The moment I rescued Goten, this artifact permeated my chest, and I began to feel an incredible amount of pressure coursing through every part of my body." Piccolo, thinking about everything Goku was telling them, asks,
And how did it get in your chest?
"The artifact was underwater right next to Goten, who had fainted. As soon as I was approaching it, it emitted a very sharp sound that didn't allow me to get close to Goten." Being. Piccolo, observing the artifact, turns to Goku, saying,
This looks familiar. It may be like a containment urn, like the ones we used at the Mafuba to seal powerful beings.
Surprised Goku, "Really, Piccolo? Do you think this could be something like that?" Krillin, looking at the artifact, "An artifact like this one, used with the Mafuba on Goku's chest? Since when did battles become so complicated?" "There's always something new with you Saiyans." Master Roshi, somewhat excited, but at the same time serious, exclaimed,
Mafuba! I remember when we sealed King Piccolo with that. Do you think Goku has such a strong enemy inside?"
Future Trunks, analyzing what had happened, says, "It makes sense. The Mafuba urns are powerful devices to contain evil energies. Could this artifact have sealed something?"
I don't care if it's from the Mafuba or anywhere else. I just want to know how to get rid of this thing once and for all. It's a possibility. The urns we use to keep very strong enemies under control, but why did it attach yourself to Goku?
"I'm not sure, but what I do know is that this energy is linked to a very powerful entity."
Whatever it is, if it's linked to that artifact, we cannot underestimate it. So what do you plan to do, Kakarot?
At that moment, the Kaio-sama of the North telepathically communicates with Goku to tell him that he had information about the powerful energy that they felt, and the mysterious artifact that permeated his chest.
Kaio-sama tells him to get to his planet quickly.
First, we need information. Kaio-sama has information about this artifact and the being that might be inside it. We must go to Kaio-sama so we can find out what we're dealing with.
Vegeta nods and Goku continues.
Exactly, but first, I need your help. If there are any more entities like this, the Earth could be in danger. And with this connection to the artifact, I could put them at risk. Therefore, I'll only go to Kaio-sama to get the information to get rid of this artifact.
Kakarot, don't even think that you'll do this alone. I'll go with you, insect. I can't accept that you become stronger than me. Goku accepts and asks him to put his hand on his shoulder. Once Goku and Vegeta left, the Z-Warriors sensed unknown presences on the planet, so they split into groups and flew off at high speed to go investigate. With the re-evaluation that the artifact at Goku's chest might be like a containment urn, similar to those used in Mafuba, the Z-Warriors faced an increasingly complex and dangerous situation. Uncertainty about what such an artifact contains and how it is connected to the mysterious dark energy fills them with worry. While Goku and Vegeta were to where Kaio-sama and the Z-Warriors went to investigate the unknown presences they had detected in space, Whis and Beerus, after having traversed much of space, felt a strong amount of dark energy, so they immediately head to where it was. As they are about to reach the source of the dark energy, the pressure in the air becomes more intense as they get closer, and the unknown entity awaits their arrival. Why do I feel like this is going to be more complicated than we thought?
Mr. Beerus, the information we gain here could be crucial to understanding the threat we face on Earth. The unknown entity, surrounded by a dark aura, reveals itself in front of Whis and Beerus. Its presence is overwhelming and a sinister laugh echoes in space. Unknown entity mockingly welcomes them, saying,
I expected your arrival. You took longer than I expected. Do not underestimate the gods. We're here to stop any threat that endangers our universe.
Before any confrontation, can you tell us who you are and what you're doing here?
Oh, that's funny. I'm known as Ryuk, disciple of the Devourer of Worlds. I have come to free the Master, the most powerful being who ever lived. The expression on Whis' and Beerus' faces become much more serious upon hearing Raiku's name. Raikou, a name rings a bell.
Raikou is an ancient threat, Lord Beerus. His master, he and the other disciples were sealed away a millennia ago due to his unquenchable thirst for power and destruction.
So it looks like we have a problem. This time it won't be as easy sealing him again. The space fills with palpable tension as Ryuk, surrounded by a dark and malevolent aura, confronts Whis and Beerus. The dark energy emanating from him seems to distort the very fabric of space around him. Problem, you say? You are correct, little god. The Master has been patiently awaiting your release, and now with my arrival, that time has finally come. Beerus moves into combat stance with a determined expression on his face, while Whis remains composed but alert. I have no time for games. If your master is a threat, we'll stop you here and now.
Tell us more about your master. Understanding his motivations might help us find a peaceful solution.
Ryuk chuckles mischievously, revealing his sharp fangs, then disappears in a dark flash before reappearing behind Beerus with astonishing speed. There's nothing they can do to stop the Master's inevitable resurgence, but before that, they could entertain me. The battle begins. Ryuk throws a swift punch towards Beerus, but the Destroyer guy nimbly dodges and responds with an energy punch that Ryuk blocks easily. Meanwhile, Whis watches carefully, waiting for the right moment to intervene. Ryuk's speed is impressive, but Beerus manages to keep up. They exchange blows and energy blasts in a combat that seems to defy the laws of space itself. Ryuk's dark energy distorts reality around him, making its impact more dangerous and intense.
Lord Beerus, your speed is amazing, but that dark energy is problematic. I suggest you be careful with your movements.
Beerus nods as he dodges an enemy attack and counterattacks with an energy wave. Ryuk, undeterred, vanishes and reappears in front of Whis, challenging him to enter the fight. And you, assistant of the god, will you dare to face me? Whis smiles serenely and disappears in a flash, only to reappear behind Ryuk.
I have no intention of fighting, but if that's what you wish.
Before Whis finishes his sentence, Ryuk turns around and launches his fierce attack towards him. Whis, with his extraordinary speed, dodges each blow with grace. Space convulsed with the fury of the cosmic confrontation between Whis, Beerus, and Ryuk. Each move shattered reality itself.
as Ryuk's dark energy and the god's divine blast intertwined in a demonstration of opposing forces. Ryuk, as ominous figure shrouded in a dark aura, moved with breathtaking speed. His sinister left echoed through the emptiness of space, challenging the gods who faced him.
This guy's faster than I thought.
As Beerus' words fade away, Ryuk disappears in the blink of an eye and reappears in front of him with a punch charged with dark energy. Beerus manages to block the attack, but the force of impact sends shockwaves through space. Ryuk breaks away from Beerus with a smirk, and in a flash lunges towards Whis. His movements were fluid. Whis, on the other hand, moves gracefully, dodging each blow with the grace of a cosmic dancer. This dark power is intriguing, but it is out of balance. Ryuk, frustrated by Whis' evasive ability, concentrates his dark energy in his hands and launches it as a flare. Whis responds by creating an energy barrier, but the resulting collision sends shockwaves through space, shaking nearby stars. Beerus takes advantage of Ryuk's distraction and lunges at him with a punch charged with divine energy. Ryuk blocks the blow, but the resulting force causes an explosion that creates the ephemeral supernova in the cosmos. The fight continues with unmatched speed. Ryuk demonstrates his skill in anticipating the gods' moves, while Beerus and Whis unleash their divine power to counter the darkness that threatens to engulf them. In a moment of pause, Ryuk grins mischievously and his dark aura begins to intensify. A transformation was underway. The darkness concentrates around his body, forming a sort of dark cocoon that breaks, revealing a transformed figure. Now Ryuk has evolved. His previous form pales in comparison to the manifestation of his current power. His figure has become more imposing, with twisted shadows dancing around him as if they were extensions of his own essence. Sharp fangs glow with dark radiance, and his eyes emit a malevolent light.
Ha ha ha! This is just a glimpse of my true power.
Beerus and Whis exchange a worried glance. The pressure in the air becomes even more intense. Ryuk, now in his transformation form, launches himself towards the gods with outstanding speed. Beerus tries to counterattack with a sphere of divine energy, but Ryuk dodges each projectile with ease, moving through the bursts of light with supernatural agility. Meanwhile, Whis stands in reverse, watching the fight with analytical eyes. In a quick blink, Ryuk appears in front of Beerus and unleashes a series of vicious blows. The sonic sounds of punches and echoes kicked through space as the gods and devourer of worlds, discipled, plunge into a frenzy of combat. Beerus, struggling to keep up with Ryuk's speed, takes a direct punch to the stomach that sends him drifting into space. Before he can recover, however, Ryuk lunges at him and blasts him with a barrage of blows. The situation becomes even more complicated when Ryuk, in a ruthless act, concentrates dark energy in his hand and drives it through Beerus' abdomen. The Destroyer God lets out a roar of pain as darkness spreads from the point of impact. Whis, seeing the stark reality, springs into action. His figure flashes in space as he stands in front of Ryuk, blocking his attacks.
I cannot allow you to harm my lord in this way.
Whis' divine energy collides with Ryuk's darkness in a show of cosmic power. The battle intensifies and the fate of the universe hangs in the balance as the confrontation between light and darkness reaches its climax. The confrontation between Whis and Ryuk intensified as space became the stage for their fierce cosmic battle. The clash of divine and dark energies echoed in the void of the universe, creating ripples that stretched to the far reaches of space.
You think you can stop me, Whis?
The master of divine martial arts, Whis, maintained his serene composure as he resisted the onslaught of the devourer of worlds disciple. His divine aura glowed brightly, fighting against the darkness that threatened to envelop him. Whis, with a wave of his hand, unleashed a blast of divine energy that forced Ryuk back momentarily. However, the smile on the dark being's face revealed that he was far from giving up.
Ryuk, your quest for power will only lead to destruction.
Ryuk, releasing a sinister laugh, launched himself at Whis with renowned furiosity. Each exchange of blows was like a clash of titans, with the fate of the universe hanging in the balance. Meanwhile, Beerus was recovering from the wounds inflicted by Ryuk, watching the battle with critical eyes. The darkness that had pierced his abdomen was beginning to dissipate thanks to divine regeneration, but the experience had left an indelible mark.
This creature's more formidable than I imagined.
And determined not to be a mere spectator, Beerus joined the battle with renowned determination. His figure flashed with divine energy that rivaled Whis', creating a spectacle of light and shadow in space. The three powerful beings engaged in a cosmic dance, with flashes of divine and dark energy illuminating the vastness of the universe. Ryuk, without losing his smirk, took advantage of his transformation to increase his speed and strength, challenging the gods with every move. The combat reached new levels of complexity when Whis, in a flash of cunning, unleashed a divine teleportation technique. He moved at the speed of thought, appearing and disappearing at different points in space, keeping Ryuk on the defensive.
Ugh, you can't dodge me forever, Whis.
As Whis and Ryuk clashed in space, Beerus focused on channeling his divine energy. The destroyer god sank into a meditative state, concentrating on unleashing his true power. Beerus' transformation was gradual but impactful. His figure was enveloped in a golden aura, and his eyes shone with the intensity of a star. Divine power flowed through him, manifesting in a form that only the mightiest gods could attain, allowing the grievous wound left by Ryuk to be healed.
It's time to put an end to this.
The reborn Beerus lunged towards Ryuk with unparalleled speed. Each blow he delivered was imbued with overwhelming divine energy. Ryuk, though powerful, was overwhelmed by the onslaught of the destroyer god. Meanwhile, Whis continued his cosmic ballet, defying the laws of space and time with his speed and agility. Every move was calculated, every blow strategically executed. The battle reached its climax as Beerus and Whis coordinated, combining their attacks to create a symphony of divine energy that enveloped Ryuk. The pressure in the air became almost tangible, and the cosmos itself seemed to rumble with the intensity of the conflict.
Do you have anything to say, Ryuk?
Ryuk, gravely wounded but still defiant, let out a shrill laugh. His figure writhed as the dark energy tried to resist the overwhelming pressure of the gods.
This is not the end, gods. My master will be released, and his darkness will devour all.
Beerus, showing no mercy, unleashed a sphere of concentrated divine energy and hurled it directly at Ryuk. The resulting explosion illuminated the space, dispelling the darkness that had lingered. Silence fell over the space as the gods watched the wreckage of the battle. Ryuk lay motionless, defeated, but not destroyed. His threat had been contained, at least for now.
This is not over. We need to find out more about his master and any threat that may arise.
Whis nodded, sharing the same determination. The reality of the danger that stalked the universe became more apparent, and the gods knew they had to prepare to face even greater challenges. The cosmic explosion that marked the end of the fierce battle dissipated into the vast space, leaving Whis and Beerus floating in momentary tranquility. As they regained their composure, a flash of gold announced the arrival of Daishinkan, the high priest, who appeared before them with a serene but worried expression.
I see you've dealt with the threat, dear Whis and Beerus.
Yes, Father. Ryuk has been contained, at least for now.
But this isn't the end, is it?
Daishinkan smiled wisely as he held in his hands a strange artifact, a glowing sphere that emanated an energy like the one they felt during the battle.
This is what I wanted to show you. It's known as the Sphere of Divine Containment, an ancient artifact capable of sealing beings of great power and darkness.
Beerus and Whis watched intently as Daishinkan explained the function of the sphere and how it was used to keep the most dangerous entities in the universe at bay.
This artifact has been kept in safekeeping for eons. It's only brought to light in extreme situations. The dark energy they felt came from one of these sealed entities, released by Ryuk's recklessness.
Whis and Beerus exchanged worried glances as they assimilated the information.
Who are these sealed entities? They are beings from the distant past, fallen gods and creatures whose thirst for power make them uncontrollable. The Sphere of Divine Containment is our safeguard against their resurgence.
So, Ryuk was one of them, and his master?
His master is the Devourer of Worlds, an even more ancient and dangerous being. His release could jeopardize existence itself.
The gravity of the situation hung heavy in the air as Daishinkan continued to explain the importance of keeping the Sphere of Divine Containment safe and sealing Ryuk again.
Now that Ryuk has been contained, it's crucial that he returns to his place of safekeeping. But we also need to get information from him. We need to know more about the Devourer of Worlds' plans and any threats that may arise.
Beerus, Whis, and Daishinkan shared a determined look. The task was not complete. There is still work to be done.
If interrogating Ryuk could give us answers, we'll do so, but we must proceed with caution.
The information we gathered will be essential to prepare for future threats. Also, we need to reinforce the security of the sphere of divine containment. Daishinkan, with a nod of his head, showed his approval of the god's decision.
Very well. Let us return to the realm of all and set preparations in motion. The safety of the universe depends on us.
The three gods, with the glowing sphere in hand, teleported to the realm of all, ready to confront the shadows of the past and ensure the stability of the universe. The spheres of divine containment, now more than ever, became the beacon of hope amidst the darkness that threatened to emerge. Meanwhile on Earth, the Z warriors, divided into groups, scattered into the sky in the direction of the unknown presences they had sensed on the planet of the northern Kaio-sama. In the air, they moved at impressive speeds, ready to face any threat that crossed their path. On Kaio-sama's planet, Goku and Vegeta appeared thanks to teleportation, scarring Kaio-sama with serious and determined expressions. Kaio-sama, who was waiting for them, welcomed them with nervous gestures.
Goku, Vegeta, I'm glad you came so quickly. The information I have is crucial.
We need to know what this artifact is and what threat it poses.
We don't have time to waste. What do you know?
Kaio-sama nodded and led the Saiyans to his small home on the planet. Once inside, they unfolded an ancient scroll that revealed information about a mystical artifact known as the Cosmic Core of Containment. He explained that this artifact was used by the ancient gods to seal entities of great evil and power, preventing them from wreaking havoc in the universe.
This artifact is so ancient that there are hardly any records of its creation. It was thought to be lost, but apparently all this time it was hidden on planet Earth.
And how is it supposed to be sealed?
Tell us at once.
Kaio-sama explained that the Cosmic Core of Containment could be opened by a being of great power, but in doing so, the seal would be transferred to the first being it encountered. If the seal was not broken immediately, it would merge with that being, granting it power, but also binding it to the duty of keeping the evil sealed.
And how the heck did it end up in Goku's chest?
That's the puzzling thing. It seems that this artifact shows Goku as its carrier.
Goku, with an expression of astonishment, began to grasp the magnitude of the situation. He was now the bearer of an artifact containing an entity of indescribable evil. So you mean I'm now responsible for keeping this evil under control?
What an honor, Kakarot! It seems you've become the guardian of evil.
But there is something else. The being sealed inside the urn is incredibly powerful. He is known as Bahamut, the Devourer of Worlds. It is an ancient entity that has consumed entire worlds.
The gravity of the situation was reflected on the faces of Goku and Vegeta. Not only did they have to face the mysterious artifact in Goku's chest, but also the dark entity sealed within. Then we have an important task. We must keep Bahamut under control and, at the same time, figure out how to free ourselves from this burden.
Yes, make no mistake, Kakarot. If this threatens Earth, I'll not hesitate to stop you.
Meanwhile on Earth, the Z warriors faced unusual pressure as they prepared for combat. Each group was ready to deal with the entities they had sensed at Bulma's house, which were minions of Bahamut, the Devourer of Worlds. The dark energy surrounding these minions was intense, and the very air seemed to vibrate with their malevolent presence. The group of Krillin, Master Roshi, and Android 18 encountered one of Bahamut's 4 minions standing on the ground, humanoids with a black, malevolent aura. The Z warriors prepared for the confrontation with Krillin, Android 18, and Master Roshi, adopting combat stances. In a chaotic dance of dark energy and flickering explosions, the confrontation between the Z warriors and Bahamut's henchmen unfolded on the cosmic stage of Earth's defense. Krillin, Android 18, and Master Roshi, 3 warriors of varying experience and skills, faced a dark menace that threatened to plunge the planet into an abyss of destruction. The stage was permeated with a tense atmosphere as the 3 warriors assumed combat stances, ready to defend the Earth against Bahamut's henchmen. a being whose malevolent aura eclipsed even the intensity of the sun.
I don't know who you are, but we'll not allow you to harm our planet!
Krillin's words echoed in the air, charged with determination. Bahamut's henchman, a humanoid with a black malevolent aura, advanced with ferocity, launching a dark attack. Krillin, in a display of amazing agility, dodged the attacks, moving like a gust of wind across the battlefield.
Kaizen!
In the blink of an eye, Krillin created his signature energy disc and launched it towards the henchman. Kaizen spun furiously, cutting through the air as it headed towards its target. However, the henchman displayed unmatched skill as he dodged the spinning attack, moving with an agility that defied comprehension. The henchman counterattacked with a series of dark, swift strikes, but Krillin was unwilling to give up. With precise and quick movements, he blocked most of the attacks, responding with quick and precise counterattacks. The combat dance between Krillin and the henchman painted a picture of speed and skill, where each movement could change the tide of the battle. Meanwhile, Master Roshi, the aged warrior with vast experience in martial arts, watched the confrontation with a knowing smile. He adopted a firm posture, waiting for his moment to intervene.
You've chosen the wrong man to fight. I've seen more battles than you can imagine.
As Bahamut's henchman lunged towards him, Master Roshi moved with unique grace, dodging the attacks with precise movements and counterattacking with a series of energy blasts. The old man's experience and cunning proved to be a formidable challenge for the henchman, who was forced to deploy all his skills to confront the master. On the other hand, Android 18, the android warrior with formidable strength, advanced towards the henchman with determination. Her eyes glowed with an intense blue light as she unleashed her powerful android energy. Do not underestimate the strength of androids. With a quick wave of his hands, Android 18 launched a wave of energy towards the henchman. The latter, though impressed by the ferocity of the android warrior, showed no signs of recoiling. Instead, it lunged toward her with surprising speed, throwing dark blows that Android 18 dodged with cybernetic agility. The battle between Android 18 and the minion was a display of strength and speed, the bursts of energy lighting up the sky. Both fought with an intensity that could shake the foundations of the universe. Meanwhile, Android 18, a formidable warrior created by Dr. Gero, was ready to demonstrate her immense power. She charged her energy, her body radiating a red glow, and lunged towards the henchman with determination. Don't underestimate me. I'm stronger than you think. The henchman responded with a sudden surge of his dark aura, unleashing a surge of energy that pushed Android 18 back. The force of the impact created a shockwave, kicking up dust and debris in its wake. The battle was intense. Every move had a purpose and every attack resonated with the Z Warriors' determination to protect their home. Explosions of energy followed one after another, lighting up the battlefield like fireworks in the dark night of space. However, the true magnitude of the threat was yet to be fully revealed. This henchman was only one of 4 sent by Bahamut, and the fate of Earth depended on the ability of the Z Warriors to pass this first test. On the horizon, the other 3 minions awaited their turn, ready to plunge into the fray and test their bravery and skills of Earth's defenders. The intensity of the battle increased with each moment, and while Krillin, Android 18, and Master Roshi fought against the henchmen, other groups of Z Warriors faced similar challenges in different locations around the planet. The fate of the Earth hung in the delicate balance of the unfolding cosmic battle, and each warrior was determined to give everything for the survival of his home. While the first group of warriors were defending Earth on Kaio-sama's planet in the small house, it was permeated with a tense atmosphere and solemnity as Goku, Vegeta, and Kaio-sama were immersed in the gravity of the situation. The ancient scroll spread out on the table revealed the secrets of an ancient artifact, and the weight now rested on Goku's shoulders. So you mean I'm now responsible for keeping this evil under control? The responsibility rested on Goku like a heavy mantle. The cosmic core of containment, that ancestral artifact, had chosen Goku as its carrier, and within it was Bahamut, the devourer of worlds. The gravity of the situation was reflected in the eyes of the Saiyan, who was already mentally preparing himself for a colossal task ahead.
What an honor, Kakarot. Seems you've become the guardian of evil.
The irony of Vegeta's voice did not go unnoticed. While his words might have been sarcastic, the determination in his eyes indicated that, despite any jokes, they were in this together.
But there's something else. The being inside the artifact is incredibly powerful.
The information left Goku and Vegeta silent. Bahamut, the name echoed in their minds like the distant echo of a coming storm. Consuming entire worlds was a threat they could not underestimate.
Then we have an important task. We must keep Bahamut under control and at the same time figure out how to free ourselves from this burden.
The pact was sealed. Together, Goku and Vegeta would take on the challenge of containing Bahamut and discovering a way to free themselves from the burden they now carried. The remaining question was how they would confront the dark entity that lay in Goku's chest. But before they could formulate a plan, a vibration in the air alerted them to the arrival of others.
It seems your friends are in trouble. Go help them.
Goku and Vegeta nodded in a gesture and understanding and, with serious expressions, headed for the door. With a mighty leap, they launched themselves into the sky, ready to join the battle raging on planet Earth. At the moment that Kaiosama gave the information to Goku and Vegeta, on Earth appeared another henchman of Bahamut who met with the duo of Daishinkan. This henchman of Bahamut seemed to be an expert in dark martial arts. He moved with supernatural agility, challenging the Z warriors with swift and lethal movements.
Do not underestimate the strength of humans. Kikoho!
Daishinkan launched his powerful Kikoho attack, creating an explosion of energy that enveloped Bahamut's henchmen.
This is no ordinary enemy. I must use my powers wisely.
Chaos unleashing his magic, creating illusions and distractions to confuse Bahamut's henchmen. The battle was unfolding on multiple levels, with the Z warriors fighting against this enemy who seemed to understand the combat arts in unexpected ways. At that moment, realizing that the power with which they were facing Bahamut's henchmen was not enough to stop him, thanks to Chaos's distraction, they took the opportunity to try to escape. But they did not count on the great speed of their rival who, realizing that they wanted to escape, caught up with them, disappearing from the place where he was and appearing in front of them. At the precise moment in which he was about to eliminate Chaos and Daishinkan, two people appeared between them and their rival Goku and Vegeta. Goku and Vegeta, with their gazes fixed on Bahamut's henchmen, shared a silent understanding. The gravity of the situation was clear on their faces, but there was no room for doubt.
Daishinkan! Chaos! Go and warn the others about this threat. We need time to deal with this.
We don't want them to get hurt because of us. Go! We'll take care of this.
Daishinkan and Chaos nodded, recognizing the determination in the Saiyans' voices. Wasting no time, they sped away, leaving Goku and Vegeta facing their formidable opponent. Bahamut's henchman, emanating overwhelming darkness, showed no signs of backing down. His eyes glowed with malice, aware of the battle ahead. The Z warriors were prepared to face any threat, and this would be no exception.
It's clear that this won't be easy.
That's what makes it exciting. Let's do it, Kakarot.
Goku and Vegeta charged at Bahamut's henchmen with impressive speed. At the moment when both warriors were fighting a battle that could change the fate of Earth, this being who presented himself as Bahamut's henchman, this dark entity with a humanoid shape but a bird's head, was going to be surprised by the abilities of the Saiyan warriors. In the middle of the combat, of all the show of strength between both warriors and this dark being, Takagami, with a confused face but confident that his strength was far superior to that of these earthly warriors, thought, "I'm amazed at the strength these earthly beings possess. I guess they deserve to know who'll kill them." Then at that moment he told them with a malevolent smile, he said, "I've been surprised by warriors. That's why they deserve to know my name. I'm Takagami, sacred god of darkness, follower of the supreme god Bahamut." Goku, very surprised of what he's hearing, said, "More gods? This sounds very dangerous and it's exciting."
Bug, shut up! The life of this planet's at risk, and you get excited about a being that's very powerful.
The speed of the combat accelerated as Goku and Vegeta pounced on Takagami. The energy in the air became dense, vibrating with the intensity of the impending confrontation. Takagami, with his dark aura, stood his ground, disdainfully watching the approaching Saiyans. "Do you think you have a chance against the power of darkness?" Goku and Vegeta continued their advance, wasting no time in unnecessary words. In the blink of an eye, they were in front of Takagami, unleashing a gale of blows. Takagami, with surprising agility, dodged many of the attacks, but some managed to land, demonstrating the strength of the Saiyans. Don't underestimate the power of a Saiyan!
Come on, God of Darkness. Show us what you can do.
Takagami responded to the challenge, unleashing his own fury. His speed and combat skills were amazing, deflecting the blows of Goku and Vegeta with subtle movements. The battle turned into a whirlwind of punches, kicks, and ki blasts, lighting up the sky with flashes of light and darkness.
They're just insects in front of the power of eternal darkness.
Goku in his base state and Vegeta, with their pride as the Saiyan Prince, continued to put pressure on Takagami. However, as the battle progressed, Takagami began to reveal more of his true power. His dark aura intensified and his form subtly changed, revealing a transformation that increased his power exponentially.
This can't be good.
Goku, always excited for a challenge, added, "Vegeta, get ready! This is getting interesting." Takagami's increased power created an overwhelming pressure on the battlefield. His speed increased dramatically, and his strength eclipsed that of the Saiyans. However, Goku and Vegeta were not intimidated. With determination, they raised their own power of levels, taking the battle to new heights. The fighting continued, with swift attacks and explosions shaking the battlefield. Goku and Vegeta, now in more advanced forms, kept up the pace, challenging Takagami at every turn. However, despite his efforts, the sacred god of darkness proved to be a formidable adversary.
This is entertaining, but your resistance is useless. The darkness consumes everything.
Goku and Vegeta, without giving up, exchanged determined glances. "Vegeta, it's time to go further!"
Huh, of course, Kakarot.
As Chaos and Ten Shinhan rushed to warn the other Z warriors, the confrontation between Goku, Vegeta, and Takagami entered a new level of intensity. The struggle for the fate of the universe was in full swing. A cosmic battle was raging on planet Earth, where darkness and light collided in a frantic dance of energy. Goku and Vegeta, the brave Saiyans, were facing Takagami, the Falcon, sacred god of darkness. The intensity of the combat resonated in the universe, and every movement threatened to tear reality itself apart. Takagami, who had increased his power, floated in the air with an imposing presence and dark aura. His eyes glowed with malice as he watched the Saiyans, who stood firm, prepared to defend their fate of the planet. In response to their enemies' increased power, Goku and Vegeta channeled their ki to the maximum, raising their power to the Super Saiyan.
Vegeta, this guy's strong, but that only means that this fight will be even better. Huh, of course, Kakarot. This is our time to shine.
The planet Earth vibrated with the energy released by the three contenders. The distant stars seemed to pale before the magnitude of the conflict. The clouds were dissipated by such a demonstration of power. Takagami, with his increased speed, lunged at Goku with a darkness-laden punch. Goku, using his elasticity and quickness, dodged gracefully, leaving a trail of flashes around him by the speed at which Takagami was lashing out with his nigh-speed punches. Vegeta, with a burst of ki, stepped between Goku and Takagami, blocking an attack that would have been devastating his fellow Saiyan. The shockwave from the collision sent debris in all directions.
I expected nothing less from you, sacred god of darkness.
Takagami defiantly unleashed a series of dark blasts towards Goku and Vegeta. The Saiyans responded with perfect timing, countering each attack with precise strikes and energy waves. The scene looked like a combat symphony, where every movement was choreographed with divine precision. Goku, with a twinkle in his eye, concentrated his energy on his hands. A bluish sphere of energy began to form, growing in size and luminosity. Vegeta, observing the familiar technique, smiled as he recognized the power that Goku was summoning. A colossal energy wave fired by Goku shot through the sky like lightning, hitting Takagami squarely. However, the darkness was absorbing the energy, and the Falcon emerged unscathed, laughing disdainfully.
Is that all you have, Saiyan?
While Goku was recovering from the effort of his attack, Vegeta launched himself at Takagami with supersonic speed. His fist slammed into the Dark God, creating a shockwave that shook the air. However, Takagami responded with a burst of energy that sent Vegeta backwards.
Ah! Damn, this guy's stronger than I thought.
Goku, recovering, joined the battle again. Both Saiyans, aware that they were facing a formidable enemy, decided that it was time to take the fight to the next level.
Vegeta, how about we show what we can really do?
Of course, Kakarot. Let's do it!
Goku and Vegeta began to accumulate energy around them. The atmosphere was charged with an intensity of their ki as they unleashed their advanced forms. Goku transformed into the Super Saiyan Blue, while Vegeta assumed his evolved form, the evolved Blue Super Saiyan. Are they taking each other seriously now? Goku and Vegeta, with their new forms, advanced towards Takagami with renewed determination. The speed and strength of the Saiyans were now incomparable. The impacts resounded like cosmic thunder, creating a symphony of destruction in the sky. The battle became even more intense. Goku and Vegeta, coordinating their movements, attacked Takagami with an impressive combination of techniques and melee attacks. The Falcon, despite its power, was overwhelmed by the ferocity of the Saiyans.
Final flash!
The bursts of energy, one blue and one golden, converged into a titanic explosion that engulfed Takagami. Light and darkness mixed in a burst of dazzling colors. However, when the explosion dissipated, Takagami emerged once more, his form slightly battered, but his determination intact. His power is awesome, but I'm a god. The darkness cannot be defeated so easily. Goku and Vegeta, without giving up, continued the offensive. The speed of his combat reached levels that defied comprehension. Punches and kicks were exchanged in a split second, creating a glow of cosmic collisions.
Big Bang attack!
Kaioken 20 times!
The energy exploded again, shaking the sky with its fury. However, Takagami, with his divine resistance, withstood the attacks. The battle raged across the cosmos, with the warriors disappearing and reappearing in flashes of light and shadow. In the middle of the struggle, Goku and Vegeta began to feel an overwhelming pressure. Takagami's darkness seemed to expand, defying even the limits of the most powerful Saiyans. Reality itself was twisting under the influence of dark energy.
This darkness is incredibly strong.
We can't back down now, Kakarot. We must get over this.
Both Saiyans raised their powers even more. The fight reached a new peak of intensity. The Saiyan was exploding like fireworks in the vastness of the night sky, lighting up the darkness with flashes of determination and defiance. Takagami, at the epicenter of the storm, smiled ominously.
Now you'll see the true power of eternal darkness.
The universe trembled as the battle reached its climax. The warriors were fighting for the fate of everything they knew, and the question that lingered in space was whether the light of the Saiyans could overcome the darkness of the sacred god. The planet Earth rumbled with the intensity of the cosmic battle. Goku and Vegeta, drenched in sweat, maintained their advanced forms as they prepared for Takagami's next assault. Darkness was emanating from his figure, but something seemed out of place. The Dark God's skin had a grayish hue, as if he had not yet completed the possession of its wearer. Takagami, with a guttural laugh, seemed to notice the perplexity in the Saiyans' expressions.
Surprise, Saiyans! I've not yet revealed all my power.
Goku and Vegeta exchanged puzzled looks. Something was not right, and both warriors felt it. At that moment, Takagami convulsed. A new form shook, as if he was fighting against something. An invisible force seemed to pull at him from within.
No! I haven't taken complete control yet!
Suddenly, a burst of dark energy enveloped Takagami, hiding him from view. The Saiyans were on guard, prepared for any surprise. Their energy in the air became denser, as if the cosmos itself was on the verge of transformation.
What's going on?
Before they could form any more questions, the dark energy dispersed, revealing Takagami's true form. However, what they saw took their breath away. At the moment of arriving at his true form, he let himself see the body he was possessing. This body was Yamcha's. Once the warriors saw that, Takagami completed his bird-headed humanoid form. But now the true form of the sacred god of destruction was clearly revealed. The Falcon's head was clearly shown, with a defined musculature but a thin body, wearing blue Egyptian clothes with gold bracelets and a gold necklace. Huge wings which disappeared and appeared at their whim. Now Takagami had something going for him. He was playing against the Saiyan warriors. Not only should he defeat them, but they should also avoid harming Yamcha.
That's what Yamcha looks like!
Takagami's rumbling laughter filled the space. Now completely in possession of Yamcha's body, the Dark God was displaying a malevolent smile.
That's right, Saiyans. This weak body belongs to me now.
Vegeta gritted his teeth furiously.
Damn it! How dare you possess one of us? It's not just one Saiyan. Soon all of you will become Baumut puppets.
The reality of the situation hit Goku and Vegeta, but the force of the cosmic impact, the dark entity they were facing was not only a dark god, but also had the power of possessing earthling warriors. Yamcha, now inside the sacred god of darkness, did not have any sign of consciousness. The god had taken control of his being completely.
Ha 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 ha! There's no escape. Baumut will be released, and this universe will fall into eternal darkness.
Goku and Vegeta shared a determined look. They knew the threat was even greater now. Not only were they fighting a dark god, they were also faced the possibility of losing their friends and allies in this fight.
Vegeta, we have to find a way to free Yamcha and stop Takagami. Of course, Kakarot, but first, we have to deal with this dark god.
The battle continued, but now the situation was more desperate. Takagami, with Yamcha's body, unleashed an unstoppable fury. The Saiyans struggled not only against eternal darkness, but also against the weight of facing one of their own companions. Explosions of energy lit up the sky, but the inner struggle of Goku and Vegeta was equally intense. Every blow, every burst of ki resonated with the promise of freeing Yamcha and saving the universe from the threat of Baumut. But Takagami wasn't going to give up so easily.
Do you think you could beat one of the World Eater's henchmen?
The dark energy intensified in the ultimate form of the sacred god of darkness. Now, the freedom to be able to use all his power launched relentless attacks. Goku and Vegeta, with their advanced forms, were fighting with all their might, but the darkness had a firm grip. The struggle dragged on. Every moment seemed like an eternity. Yamcha, although he was just a contender for Takagami, at one point during the fight showed signs of pain on his face. It was as if his very essence was fighting against the darkness that was consuming her.
Yamcha, hold on! Let's get you out of this!
But Goku's words were lost in the storm. Takagami, with a maniacal laugh, continued his assault. The Earth, witness of this cosmic conflict, trembled before the magnitude of the confrontation between light and darkness. Somewhere far away, Chaos and Ten Shinhan, after alerting the other Z warriors about the threat, returned to the battlefield. Seeing the situation, Ten Shinhan's face filled with fury as Chaos clenched his fist determinedly.
Takagami, I'll make sure you pay for this!
Both warriors joined the fight, but even with their abilities, facing a dark god who possessed one of his own would not be so easy. The battle turned into a desperate struggle to face Yamcha and stop Baumut before he was released. During the chaos, Goku and Vegeta shared a look of determination. The darkness could be powerful, but the light of the Saiyans would shine even in the darkest moments. The battle for the fate of the universe was far from over, and Earth's heroes were ready to face any challenges that stood in their way. Taking a trip to the past, one day before the strange artifact was impregnated into Goku's chest, after rescuing his son Goten, Yamcha, oblivious to the imminent danger that was coming, was exploring an ancient Egyptian pyramid during an archaeological expedition. The atmosphere was charged with mystery and the promise of amazing discoveries. Deep inside the pyramid, Yamcha stumbled upon an ancient artifact that was glowing with a dim light. It was an Egyptian bracelet decorated with intricate hieroglyphs. Fascinated by her beauty and attracted by an inexplicable force, Yamcha could not resist and placed the bracelet on his wrist. The moment the bracelet touched his skin, a strange sensation enveloped Yamcha. It was not painful or threatening, but rather captivating. An ancestral connection was established between the earthly warrior and the Egyptian artifact. What Yamcha didn't know was that this artifact contained an ancient power linked to the age of gods and legends. As the light from the bracelet merged with Yamcha, an ancient presence awoke. It was the essence of an ancient god that was lying asleep inside the artifact. However, this being was neither malevolent nor benevolent. It was simply an ancestral force seeking to join a mortal existence, or at least that was what Yamcha felt at that moment. The god, by merging with Yamcha, granted him abilities and knowledge beyond his comprehension. Yamcha felt with a strength and connection to the story itself, The fusion, although puzzling at first, resulted in a unique symbiosis between the earthly warrior and the divine entity. Yamcha didn't know what the bracelet actually was. Returning to the battle, every moment became more challenging for Goku and Vegeta and the earthly warriors. Takagami, now completely liberated, unleashed a destructive force that tested even the most powerful Saiyans. In an effort to turn the tide of the battle, Ten Shinhan and Chaos joined the fight. Both warriors, aware of the threat possessed by Takagami, threw themselves into the fray bravely. His unique skills and determination added a new dynamic to the conflict, but even with his intervention, the darkness persisted. Ten Shinhan, keep the pressure on. We cannot allow this darkness to take over our world. Ten Shinhan nodded, concentrating his energy on coordinated attacks with Goku and Vegeta. Despite their combined efforts, Takagami remained a relentless adversary. As the battle reached its peak, Goku and Vegeta, exhausted but without losing their determination, shared a look of mutual understanding. They knew they needed an extra power to face Takagami at his finest. Instantly, an idea crossed their minds of the Saiyans' fusion. Vegeta, I know it's not something you prefer, but I think it's our only option.
I don't like to admit it, Kakarot, but I agree with you. If we want to stop this monster, we need all the power we can get.
Both warriors assumed the necessary postures to perform the fusion dance. The energy of Goku and Vegeta intertwined in a brilliant flash, and within seconds, an entirely new warrior emerged. Gogeta in his base form, the supremely powerful fusion of the two Saiyans.
It seems the occasion requires it. Now, Takagami, get ready. So you think a ridiculous fusion will be able to stand up to my power?
Gogeta rushed towards Takagami with amazing speed. The matchup that followed was an unmatched display of skills. Gogeta dodged Takagami's attacks with grace, fighting back with overwhelming force. However, the darkness that enveloped the Dark God proved to be a formidable challenge. During the intense battle, Ten Shinhan and Chaos continued to bravely fight, but the price of a confrontation was already becoming apparent. Takagami, taking advantage of the distraction, launched a devastating attack that left Ten Shinhan and Chaos seriously injured. Goku and Vegeta, seeing their companions in danger, felt a surge of rage. Gogeta redoubled his efforts, attacking with renewed ferocity. However, Takagami, aware of the situation, diverted his attention to Ten Shinhan and Chaos.
Feeling the despair, Saiyans? Soon this world will witness its end.
Goku and Vegeta, full of rage and determination, increased their speed. They knew they needed to do something before Takagami carried out his threats. The battle reached its climax when Gogeta launched a massive attack on Takagami, seeking to break his resistance. However, the darkness surrounding Takagami intensified, revealing a surprise resistance. It was then that Ten Shinhan and Chaos, still on the ground, exchanged a determined look. They knew that whatever they had to do to give Gogeta a chance to defeat Takagami.
Goku, Vegeta, you need time. I'll take care of holding this monster. I'll come with you, Ten Shinhan. Together we'll be the barrier they need.
Goku and Vegeta, although reluctant to lose their friends, went at full speed to avoid what they had in mind.
Don't do it, Ten Shinhan! Chaos!
Ten Shinhan and Chaos stood up, ignoring the pain coursing through their bodies. With determination, they faced Takagami, resisting his attacks with all their might. Gogeta, seeing the situation, understood the magnitude of the sacrifice they were making.
We cannot disappoint this sacrifice. We have to win this.
While Ten Shinhan and Chaos bravely fought Takagami, Gogeta continued his assault with the intensity intact. The battle was taking place on two fronts, with the Earth Warriors sacrificing themselves to provide the necessary opening. Goku and Vegeta, as he approached, their hearts were filled with sorrow and gratitude towards Ten Shinhan and Chaos. Gogeta, with supersonic speed, approached the scene where Ten Shinhan and Chaos were bravely facing Takagami. His gaze reflected the mixture of determination and regret, knowing that the sacrifices of his teammates were the key to victory.
Hold on a little longer, guys. Let's put an end to this.
The Saiyan fusion advanced towards Takagami, who, upon seeing Gogeta's arrival, stopped attacking Ten Shinhan and Chaos to confront the fused warrior. The intensity of the battle reached a new level, with attacks and counterattacks echoing across the battlefield. Ten Shinhan, with his remaining strength, took advantage of that distraction to hold Takagami with all his strength, preventing him from moving freely. His face showed determination and resignation at the same time.
Chaos, this is your chance. Make every second I hold this monster worth it.
Chaos, next to Ten Shinhan, nodded weakly. His body showed the ravages of the battle, but his eyes were shining with all the will to do the duty.
Daishinkan is right, Gogeta. The light will always prevail over the darkness. Remember that.
Goku, Vegeta, take care of our world. This is our last act. At that moment, Chaos accumulated an immense amount of energy to sacrifice himself. Gogeta, who was very close, were hit by the shock wave of the explosion. Gogeta, recovering from the impact, looked at the place where his companions were with solemnly.
Your sacrifice will not be in vain, I promise.
After what happened, Gogeta raised his head and with an uncontrollable anger increased his ki in such a way that he made the battlefield rumble, making the stones that were in the place fly, making Takagami retreat only with the gusts of air that expanded from his being. In a panning from head to toe, we managed to see Gogeta's transformation in Super Saiyan Blue Phase 4, which showed the essence of Ozaru as a kind of aura in blue color, and a more controlled but much more powerful version, a transformation never seen, since they were not able to coordinate their powers to be able to reach said transformation. As Gogeta's energy transformed into a surprising and controlled version of Super Saiyan Blue Stage 4, a brilliant blue essence of Ozaru manifested around him, revealing unparalleled potency. The cosmic landscape trembled before the magnitude of this new form. Goku and Vegeta, witness of this unique transformation, were filled with amazement and determination. It was evident that Gogeta was reaching a level of power never seen before, fusing the essence of Super Saiyan Blue with Ozaru's formidable presence flawlessly. Gogeta, in his new form, turned an intense gaze towards Takagami, whose expression of confidence was overshadowed by surprise. The battle, far from having come to an end, was just beginning in this new phase. The universe was waiting for the outcome of this epic confrontation where light and darkness collided in a cosmic dance. The promise of a new dawn loomed on the horizon, but the price of triumph was uncertain. Gogeta floated in the sky, surrounded by the imposing energy of his new form. The stars seemed to pale before the intensity of his blue radiance as Takagami recovered from the initial impact and adopted a defensive posture.
What kind of transformation is this? This is the power of those who fight for something greater than themselves.
With a flash, Gogeta disappeared, appearing in front of Takagami in the blink of an eye. The clash of their fists created shockwaves that shook the battlefield. Gogeta's speed and strength were unmatched, surpassing even Takagami's ability to anticipate his blows. Gogeta and Takagami exchanged blows and energy blasts at breakneck speed. Each impact resounded like cosmic thunder, creating an epic symphony on planet Earth.
Your attempt to revive your so-called gods ends here, Takagami.
But you're a bug in the face of the greatness of my power.
In an instant, Gogeta unleashed a burst of concentrated energy, enveloping Takagami in a whirlwind of light and force. When the light dissipated, Takagami emerged unharmed, but with a more serious expression.
Interesting, but not enough.
The battle was reaching cosmic levels with ripples of energy spreading across the far reaches of the universe. Meanwhile, the other Z warriors watched the sky, appreciating Gogeta's great power of display and Takagami's resilience and viciousness. The roar of battle echoed in every corner of the universe. Gogeta and Takagami, wrapped in an endless dance of energy, continued their titanic confrontation. Space twisted and trembled under the influence of their powers, creating distortions itself. Bursts of energy expanded like lightning, illuminating the darkness of the night sky with dazzling flashes. Each blow between the two contenders seemed to release an explosion of energy that spread in concentric waves, setting the frantic pace of the cosmic battle. Away from the battlefield, the others watched in anguish and admiration. Bulma, with a mixture of fear and hope in her eyes, clung to the hope that Gogeta would prevail.
Come on, Gogeta, you must win! For all of us!
Meanwhile, on the battlefield, Gogeta and Takagami continued their fierce exchange. Determination burned in Gogeta's eyes, while Takagami maintained a defiant smile, though his expression hid a growing unease.
This is for the price you pay for defying the peace of the universe!
With a swift movement, Gogeta vanished and reappeared behind Takagami, launching an energy-charged punch straight at his back. But Takagami, anticipating, quickly spun around and blocked the attack with the dark energy shield.
Haha! Is that all you got?
In response, Gogeta intensified his assault, unleashing a continuous flurry of punches and kicks. Each impact resounded like thunder. But Takagami, though outmatched in speed, resisted with his dark power, countering the attacks with deft movements. During the scuttle, Takagami took advantage of the prevalent moment of openness and opened up a launched energy bolt straight for Gogeta's chest. The resulting explosion shook the universe and Gogeta was thrown backwards, leaving a trail of blue energy. Is that all hope can do? Gogeta recovered quickly, stood up with determination. The glow of his transformation increased even more. This is far from over. The battle continued, leading them again to display an ever-increasing amount of power. In this fury, Gogeta unleashed power that defied the laws of the universe, and Takagami, despite his arrogance, began to show signs of concern. The tension was palpable. The Z-Warriors felt the intensity of the confrontation, even when they were a long distance away from where the battle for the future of the planet was taking place. Piccolo was seriously watching, calculating every move and thinking if at some point this battle, which was far from over, would be a favorable outcome. Piccolo, in his thoughts,
Goku, Vegeta, we trust you. You must win this battle.
The battle reached a new climax when Gogeta and Takagami met at an eminent point in the battle. The energy emanated from them, illuminating the vastness of the dark sky, creating a dazzling spectacle of colors and flashes.
You cannot escape darkness. Darkness will never prevail over light.
You're a fool if you think your light can eclipse my power.
Suddenly, a voice echoed in Gogeta's mind, a familiar but distant voice.
Gogeta, do not underestimate your enemy. Truth lies within strength.
The transmission abruptly cut off, leaving Gogeta bewildered. Before he could reflect on it, however, Takagami lunged towards him with surprising speed, unleashing a series of punches and kicks that left Gogeta struggling to keep up. At that moment, a fleeting image flashed through Gogeta's mind, a vision of his loved ones, of his purpose, and the responsibility he carried on his shoulders. The energy of the transformation fanned, and Gogeta, with newfound determination, struck back with renewed ferocity.
This is the limit of your tyranny, Takagami.
The limit's up to you, Gogeta, and your limit is my power.
Suddenly, the sky around him fragmented, and multiple distorted versions of Takagami emerged from the dimensional rifts, each with a malevolent grin.
You cannot defeat me, Gogeta. I am eternal. I'm a god.
You may be powerful, but I'm not alone in this.
The battle reached a new intensity as multiple distorted incarnations of Takagami surrounded Gogeta. Each emanated a dark energy that defied the laws of the universe. The air itself seemed to vibrate with the pressure of their combined presences. At that precise moment, Goku and Vegeta's fusion had come to an end due to the amount of power they had used in order to stand up to Takagami. Goku and Vegeta, although they had returned to their individual forms after the fusion, knew that the key by defeating Takagami lay in perfect unity and coordination.
Vegeta, we're in this together. Let's give all our power to be able to confront him so we can free Yamcha from this so-called god.
Yes, Kakarot, this insect will not defeat us.
The Z-Warriors watched in amazement, aware that the fate of the universe hung in the balance. Piccolo analyzed the situation, looking for any weaknesses that could be exploited. The others prepared to act if the opportunity presented itself. Goku and Vegeta, now separated, their fusion as Gogeta, faced Takagami with determination in their eyes. The dark presence of the supposed god loomed over them, but the Saiyans were determined to free Yamcha and put an end to the threat he posed.
Vegeta, we need to coordinate our attacks. We've always been stronger when we fight together.
For once, I agree with you, Kakarot. This insect will pay for what he did.
The two Saiyans lunged towards Takagami, attacking with a combination of punches and ki blasts. Takagami, though powerful, was momentarily overwhelmed by the timing of the two warriors. However, his sinister laugh echoed across the battlefield.
Your union will change nothing. My power is unlimited.
Goku and Vegeta exchanged glances, realizing that the situation was more serious than they had imagined. Takagami unleashed a wave of dark energy that sent them flying, but they quickly recovered, ready to continue the fight. The Z-Warriors watched with concern. Gohan, though a bit intimidated by Takagami's power, maintained his unwavering determination. Piccolo, with his keen intelligence, pointed out a possible weakness.
It seems his power is linked to some source. We must find a way to break that connection.
Goten and Trunks, who had arrived along with Gohan, eager to join the battle, looked at their parents with concern. However, Piccolo stopped them.
Guys, we need a plan before we launch into battle. Your strength will be crucial at the right time.
While the Z-Warriors thought of a plan, Goku and Vegeta continued their fierce assault against Takagami. Every time it seemed they were about to defeat him, his power increased and the evil emanating from him intensified.
Ha 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 ha! Your resistance is useless. My power thrives on despair and suffering.
Then we must find a way to change that. Vegeta, we need to attack together, but with a strategy.
You're finally thinking clearly, Kakarot. Let's do it!
The two Saiyans, coordinating their movements, executed a series of synchronized attacks. Although Takagami was defending himself skillfully, he began to show signs of discomfort. The connection between his power and the external source seemed to be faltering. At that instant, Piccolo noticed the opportunity.
Now is the time. Gohan, wait for the opening we'll give you so you can attack. Goten, Trunks, follow me on my signal.
Gohan nodded, conveying a look of confidence to his friends. Goten and Trunks prepared to act on Piccolo's directions.
Everyone, let's send our energies to Goku and Vegeta. We must strengthen their connection and weaken Takagami's source of power.
Well guys, this is all for today's chapter. I hope you liked it and it was to your liking. Now don't forget to leave your powerful like Supreme God level, comment and subscribe. Now without further ado, see you in a new video. Until next time.